Hey everyone, I'm here with Tesla Self-Driving 14.1.1, and I wanted to show it to you and show you how it works. So what this software lets you do is take your Tesla from one parking spot to another without touching the steering wheel or pedals at all. It's a significant upgrade from the last version. Hasn't yet gone out to everybody, but I'll show you how it works. So one thing that's new that they added in a recent update is you can now talk to your Tesla. You just hold down on this button on the steering wheel. Hey, I wanted to get something to eat in downtown Los Angeles. Do you have any good suggestions for places that are quick where I can just go order at the counter and take it to go?
Sure. Downtown's got tons of spots perfect for that grab and go without the wait. Try Macaroni Republic for killer pasta, like Tagliatelle, you can snag off the menu. It's counter service, super fresh, and packs up great. Or Sushi Gen, if you're craving raw
Sorry,
fish.
what did you say
Order
was the name of that first one? That sounded pretty good.
Macaroni Republic.
Okay, and do they have good street parking around there?
Street parking's tough downtown. Meters run till 10 most nights, and spots vanish fast. Your best bet's garages nearby. Gas company towers just 5 minutes away, like $12 for 2 hours if you book ahead. Or try Broadway Spring Center. It's a block over and won't break you.
Okay, and what kind of food, what are some items on the menu of Macaroni Republic?
Macaroni Republic's all about fresh Italian pasta. Think handmade gnocchi with meat ragu, rigatoni tossed in tomato sauce with eggplant, or squidding tagliatelle in saffron fish sauce. Appetizers like fried calamari or burrata with roasted tomatoes hit the spot too.
Okay,
If you're
yeah, I
grabbing to
got the
go,
idea. Thanks. Appreciate your help. So, now I got a suggestion for where to go to dinner. Take me to Macaroni Republic. So there you go. It plotted the address in downtown LA. I can see that it's about 18 minutes away. That's 4 miles away. And it's going to take about 2% of my battery to get there. So all I have to do is hit start self-driving. And my car will just start driving over to that destination. Pulled out of a pretty tight parking spot there. Well done. And I've actually got a new little pop-up here called Destination Options. So what Destination Options does is let you tell the car what you want it to do when it gets at the destination. So it can drop you off curbside if maybe, you're dropping somebody off, or you can tell it to park. So in this case, I'm going to tell it park on the street. Let's see if we can find some street parking. And if not, I might have to go into maybe a parking lot or a garage. So we're stopping at the red light now, behind another Tesla. We're in the Koreatown neighborhood of Los Angeles. Pretty packed, lots of people around. Now, the reason this hasn't gone out to all Teslas yet, most Teslas are still running FSD 13, is that they're still smoothing it out a little bit. This new model has an incredible new perception system. It's able to react much faster than FSD 13, and it's amazing. I kind of see it slow down and I'm wondering what it's doing, and then I see it noticing something I didn't even notice, like this bus going over the line, or somebody on a bike who's kind of biking around in circles and they look like they might enter the intersection. So it's really amazing seeing it react often even before I notice a threat. The flip side of that, though, is that it's made it kind of uncomfortable compared to 13, in the sense that it's slowing down or hitting the brakes a lot, whereas 13 provided just a private chauffeur-like experience. It was such a smooth ride. So Tesla said they're trying to smooth it out a little bit before they send it out to more cars. And you can't really see this that well in the video. When I've noticed when you look at the video, it all looks pretty good on video. But in the car, um, some of these braking maneuvers it does, it just kind of hits the brake for like a fraction of a second. Um, and you might not even really see it in the video, but it does create kind of a little uncomfortable feeling. So it's a little bit unpolished, but what you're going to see in the video, I think, is that functionally it's able to get from point A to point B. It's able to do it without any safety critical interventions, and hopefully able to park itself when we get there. So the only reason I mention this is I'm going to point out where I see it doing something that is a little bit hesitant or jerky compared to FSD 13, just because it's kind of hard to see it in the video normally, especially, if it's a time-lapse video of the whole drive. So I wanted to just kind of point out those instances I'm seeing of, I don't know what you want to call it, uncomfortable, jerky, indecisive behavior that's holding this up from being released to everybody. All right, there we saw it kind of slow down a little bit. It wasn't that uncomfortable. It was a pretty smooth slowdown. I'm not quite sure why it slowed down, but it's possible, maybe looking in the video, maybe there was someone who looked like they were entering the crosswalk or something. Okay, now we're seeing the car kind of pull over. I've noticed this issue before where it's almost acting like it's pulling over for an emergency vehicle, but there is no emergency vehicle there. So they added a new feature in this version where it can sort of pull over for emergency vehicles, ambulances and police officers automatically. You don't have to take over now. The flip side of that is that sometimes it does that when it maybe thinks there's an emergency vehicle, but there might not actually be one. All right, there we saw it kind of wanted to change lanes, almost started moving over, but then changed its mind. This early build of FSD 14 does seem to have a little bit of an issue with committing to a lane change. It'll often be kind of indecisive, whereas 13 would just go ahead and make it right away. But these are all sort of nitpicks I have, holding it to the very high standard of the previous version, FSD 13, which everyone's running right now. And I'm sure they're going to get it up to that level of smoothness and beyond. But overall, it's really the same great FSD 13 experience. I mean, we've kind of started to take for granted that there aren't going to be any safety critical interventions or even non-critical interventions, even just minor things. It just kind of seems to do everything correctly. It's an incredibly intelligent model. Okay, a little bit of extra hesitation there, whereas I feel FSD 13 would have tried to go much sooner. It was really waiting to see if anybody would pull in. So that's the kind of hesitation I put in the category of being a little overcautious. It's not obviously dangerous. I mean, it's obviously the opposite of dangerous, trying to be overcautious. But it is definitely an annoyance coming from 13, where contested situations like that were handled much more quickly and smoothly. But again, I don't want to nitpick too much on some of the features of this early release. But I do want to point out what I'm talking about when I mention this. Overall, if you're someone who hasn't used Tesla's self-driving system before, it just takes something incredibly boring, driving through slow bumper-to-bumper traffic like this in Los Angeles, a little bit of extra braking there as the car turned in, compared to 13. And you don't have to worry about it anymore. You can listen to music, relax, watch the road, of course, but you don't have to worry about where to go. You don't have to worry about if you're in the right lane. You don't have to worry about how am I going to change lanes to get over there. It does it all for you. Now you don't even have to worry about parking anymore. And this software will run on every Tesla sold. Even the new 36,990 Model 3 Standard they just unveiled, the cheapest Tesla they sell, with the cloth seats, it'll run the same FSD 14 this does. And it'll run it just as well as this car, if not better. That's kind of the incredible thing about Tesla. You don't see any other automaker that made self-driving a standard feature on every single car they sell. You can't even buy a Tesla that doesn't have this technology. Alright, there was a little bit of braking there that seemed unnecessary. I'm not sure why it braked. Maybe visibility, maybe it thought there was a pedestrian that was going to enter the road or something. But it wasn't that harsh compared to what I was seeing in, for example, 14.1. So you're already starting to see an improvement there, even though it is still hesitating a little bit at time, being a little bit overcautious. It's less forceful than before, less uncomfortable, smoother braking when it is hesitating. So that's good to see. All right, we got a green light. Let's go. We're going to be making a left onto Lucas Avenue in 0.6 miles. We're headed to downtown Los Angeles here. We're going to Macaroni Republic, which the car recommended to us. It's kind of funny. Oh, where'd you hear about this place? Oh, my car recommended it to us. And then it drove us here. Nice smooth driving here. Very nice, very smooth. There's a billboard over on the left, a NHTSA billboard. Oh dear, it's a distracted driver. Don't drive distracted. When you're a distracted driver, meaning when you're using your phone, you become functionally as safe as a drunk driver. And guess what? Everybody's using their phone. So we live in a world now where everyone's driving drunk, essentially. AI models like this, they don't get drunk. They don't get distracted. Right now in this car, there's two drivers, the software and me. And there's no way that both of us are going to get distracted. So this is the answer. NHTSA won't need to run billboards anymore. They'll save a little on their advertising budget, I think. And, I mean, a billboard is never going to stop distracted driving. If only it were that easy. Oh, okay. NHTSA took out a billboard. Yeah, let me stop using my phone all the time. That's not the way people work, unfortunately. They know it's bad. They know it's dangerous. But they can't resist responding to that text, opening that notification, responding to that, work call while they're supposed to be in the office. This is the only thing that's actually going to fix it. These AI models. And we need them built into every car yesterday. There's a lot of water running into the street here for some reason. Alright, now we're merging onto a street with oncoming traffic. I've sometimes seen the car hesitate a lot in this type of situation, but that was really good. That was pretty natural. Alright, there's a guy standing in the street here. The car sometimes is hesitant around pedestrians, but that was pretty good. It did brake a little bit, but it was just a very slight brake. Whereas I think in maybe the earlier builds it would have kind of hit the brake much harder. That was more appropriate. I mean, really, probably it didn't even need to brake that much, but I think we are seeing the comfort improve in this latest build. Alright, looks like we're here in downtown LA now. And we're headed to Macaroni Republic. Alright, we're driving through a tunnel now. A lot of interesting graffiti on the walls here. And the system is able to handle it naturally. May seem simple to us, going through a tunnel, but for cameras, obviously, that lighting change, going from daylight to a tunnel, can be challenging, but the software makes it look natural. Okay, there was a little bit of excessive braking there. Wasn't as smooth as it could have been due to obviously the construction and the construction worker. So all of these sort of all of these unnecessary braking events, or where it's maybe braking a little too hard, I kind of fit them all in the category of, overcautious. Alright, the car has its right blinker on, but I'm not sure we need to actually turn right here. I think we're actually supposed to turn right at the next street. But maybe it has its own ideas about how we should get there. It's waiting for all the pedestrians to cross, and now that it's clear, it's proceeding. Pretty smooth. In previous builds, it was definitely kind of braking more around pedestrians, so that seems to be improved a little bit. Alright, it looks like the navigation system is now routing us around, so it did make a little mistake there, turning right too early. But that's okay, because now we get to practice driving through downtown a little more. All right, a lot of traffic coming in front of us. We need to make a right turn. Looks like there's also a guy trying to cross the street with a bunch of Coca-Cola that is. And looks like we have to go back through that tunnel on the other side. All right, now the pedestrians are allowed to cross. We got a guy with his daughter. And the car is staying perfectly still, giving them tons of time to cross. And then proceeding as soon as it's safe to do so. Very nice. All right, on the way back, we've got a pedestrian on the right side and on the left side in the tunnel. But the car was smart enough to ignore the pedestrian. They're on the sidewalk. They're out of the way. That's good to see. Okay, and we're getting ready now to make a right turn onto Figueroa. All right, very nice, very smooth. And now we're going to make a right turn and go back through that tunnel once again. Interestingly, there is a sign here that says no right turn on red. Now, FSD 13 would sometimes respect these, sometimes ignore these, but it looks like FSD 14 is respecting it and isn't turning right until we have the arrow. Okay, looks like it's kind of unsure of what to do. We've got a blinking yellow arrow. It's braking and going. It's stopping and going. There's a car behind us. I think they're going around us. Okay, this is, Okay, now we've got a green arrow. So that wasn't so great with the blinking yellow arrow. It was kind of stopping and going. FSD 13 seemed to handle that well. Now hopefully it doesn't make the same wrong turn again and can actually get to the destination this time. Because I don't want Macaroni Republic to close. Alright, and looks like we've got a ton of cyclists. Great. A weird edge case for me to test. Thank you, cyclist people. Oh god, okay. No, this is actually the right place to turn. Alright. Oh. Amazing. This is the edge case I wanted to see. Looks like the fire department has completely closed off the road. I don't know what's going on here. The car should really be, I think, turning around. Because, yeah. This is, not a typical situation you see every day, but it does not look good. I don't even know if it's going to be possible to get to the destination. but maybe it is. Let's see if we can get there another way. Now that is some robotaxi-like intelligence. Seeing a road that's closed off, turning around, and going the other way. That's something that used to require human intervention. Now it's handled completely automatically. All right, and we're making a right turn. A little bit of stuttering there, braking and going. Once you either stop or commit. It seems like it can't decide and it's trying to do both. Now there's a good smooth right turn. And we're going to make a right onto 3rd Street. Somehow I don't feel like this is going to help. I feel like this is going to be closed off too. I'm wondering, should I change the address to help it, or should I just let it do what it's going to do? Let's see what it's going to do. Alright, it's not making a right turn here, even though it could. Maybe because of those pedestrians. Alright, it's now stopping. There were some people on bikes approaching. Again, braking and going, braking and going. Oh, looks like this part of the road isn't closed off. Very nice. Fire trucks end over there. What is going on here? I don't know. But yeah, that is a lot of emergency vehicles. And it was interesting because there wasn't explicitly a road closed sign. But, any human can look at that number of emergency vehicles and say, yeah, I'm probably not supposed to drive on this road right now. I think that's obvious. And the car was able to pick up on that too. That's what's really impressive. Okay, there's a sign that says no left turn. We've got a fire department, firefighter making a hand motion to stop. And the car actually stopped. That was really interesting. I don't know if that person was on video, but it looks like one of the fire trucks is backing up. So they wanted us to stop so that the fire truck could back up without traffic in the way. So I don't know if it was responding to the hand signal or just responding to the firefighter walking out into the crosswalk. But it ended up doing the right thing. Very cool. I'd say it handled this weird edge case extremely well. It didn't do anything that got me in trouble with the emergency responders. This is really kind of the gold standard for a robotaxi vehicle, where it's able to handle unusual situations like this, even, without any advanced knowledge. Alright. Looks like the fire truck is moving. My car still isn't moving. And now it's starting to move forward, braking. There's a guy in the crosswalk. Someone kind of cut me off there and it stopped. So a little bit of braking and going. A little bit of braking there again. But it did it. And now here we are at Macaroni Grill. Despite all the challenges, it made it. But now, can it park? That's the real challenge. Oh, and would you look at that? It found a spot to parallel park. Oh, and it pulled out of the spot. I guess it didn't like it for some reason. That was a little odd. Seemed like a good spot to me. Road closed, Cicla Via. I think that's like a biking event or something. Okay. Good, I thought there might be a fire or something. But I guess they just closed it for the cyclist, maybe? Or maybe a cyclist was injured or something. Hopefully not. But, it's interesting that it's kind of routing around. I wonder if it's maybe because Macaroni Grill is on the other side of the road. But it is nice that we're getting to do some more testing in downtown LA because it's kind of having to run around a little bit. Alright, we got a bunch of pedestrians in the crosswalk here. We got some bright direct sunlight. And the car's creeping up. It's doing so smoothly. It's not doing that thing where it goes and brakes and goes and brakes. It's doing it the right way. And now it's proceeding. That was perfect. Very smooth. Looks like we got a car on the left and a car sticking out on the right. The car's braking, maybe braking a little bit hard there. Oh, but see, it noticed somebody getting out of their car. That's one of those examples where it's braking, but then, okay, there was actually a reason for it to brake. There's all this stuff happening. Someone's getting out. A car was trying to pull out there. It kind of noticed that before I did and braked. Maybe I would have just gone, or maybe that would have been fine. But the hesitation and overcautiousness we're seeing is essentially a byproduct of the perception system being so good. All right, now we're back onto Broadway, and hopefully it actually parks this time. I don't know why it abandoned that perfectly good parking spot. Alright, we got a guy on a bike here with his dog. Oh, there are a lot of parking spots here on the right. Maybe it said, hey, I see a better parking spot. Let me spin around. Although, that is kind of a waste of time. I don't think this is obviously desirable behavior at all. Oh, but here's Macaroni Republic right here on the right. So it did actually get me to the correct side of the road, so I can just get out and get my food quickly. And there you go, we parked. So look at that. FSD 14. So I hope this video gave you guys a good sense of where FSD 14 is today. This is an early build, an early preview that Tesla was kind enough to send me. Thank you so much, Tesla. Thank you, Ashok. Thank you, Elon. Thank you, everyone at the Tesla AI team, for building this for your customers. It's really incredible. But, there is still some polish needed to get it up to the level of 13 in terms of comfort. But that overcautiousness, it's not a bad thing. It's not, I think, that they forgot how to train an FSD model to be as good as 13. I think it's because this model is so powerful, it sees so much, that it seems to be overreacting a little bit. But despite some of these rough issues, I think they're probably all going to get ironed out and it'll be silky smooth by the time it gets out to everyone. What you saw is incredible. What you saw is a model that can take you from parking spot to parking spot without ever requiring you to touch the steering wheel and pedals. Did you guys notice something? The only time I touched the steering wheel in this video was to activate the voice functionality, was to touch this microphone button. That's all my steering wheel is good for now. I didn't actually use it to control the car at all. And despite some pretty strange situations, some urban driving, some closed roads, a bunch of cyclists, The software is able to handle even some pretty crazy scenarios and get you to your destination entirely on its own. So FSD 14, I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. I think with this series, Tesla is finally getting us to a place where you can truly start to relax, eventually take your eyes off the road. Right now you have to pay attention. Have robo-taxis on the road without a safety monitor. I think this is going to be a huge, huge update for them and something customers have been waiting a long time for. So I'll keep you posted. They've been iterating fast. They just sent us this new build of FSD 14 last night. And I'm sure they're going to be following it up with another build as they try and get this out to more people. So go get a Tesla. All of the latest Teslas they sell can run FSD 14. You want to make sure it has the AI4 chip, the hardware 4 chip, and it'll change your life. If you spend any time in the car, you owe it to yourself to go take a test drive of a Tesla and try full self-driving. It is how I get around the city 90% of the time now. It's made my life so much easier and so much better, and I cannot recommend it more to anyone that's interested in it. So thanks for watching. I'll keep testing FSD 14 and keep you posted on how it evolves.